This lesson is an introduction to exponents. So exponents are essentially us multiplying the same number by itself several times. So the exponent, in this case of n, tells us how many times to multiply the base of b. So the exponent, or sometimes called a power, would be that n value, and the b is called our base. For instance, 5 squared would mean 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. Now, it's not necessary to write the 5 times 5. It's just so that you understand what's going on. In your calculator, if you are evaluating an exponent, you might have to plug in 5 and then a button that looks like this, a caret button, to get 25. You might have a button that looks like this, in which case it would go ahead and square it for you, although this only works when it's squared, and of course when I get to things like to the 4th power, I'm going to need to know another button. You might also have a button that looks like this, x to the y, or sometimes it's flip-flopped y to the x, but I might have to plug that in to get 25. So get to know your own calculator to find where you might find those exponent buttons. For my second example, 2 to the 4th, again, if I wrote it out, it's simply saying 2 times itself 4 times. Now, if you're not using the button on your calculator, you would just take a couple at a time. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 2 is 16. Or you would use this button or this button in your calculator to find the solution of 16. 3 does not have an exponent on it, and so it's important to understand that if there's no exponent, the exponent is 1, which just means I have 1, 3, so my solution is 3. And the last one, I wanted to throw in a power of 10, because any power of 10 is actually pretty simple. 10 to the 4th, yes, I could use my calculator and say 10 and then hit the caret button and then 4, but if it's a power of 10, this value tells me how many zeros. So this is a 1 with 4 zeros, so my answer is 10,000. Feel free to check that in your calculator as well. Go ahead and try these 4 on your own, then press play to see how you did. For my first, again, 7 squared just means 7 times 7, which is 49. 3 to the 3rd means 3 times, so 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. 1 squared is 1 times 1, which is just 1. And 10 to the 9th, again, don't stress your brain, just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros. So that is my solution.